Today, we're going to talk about social media and the impact it can have on you when you're wedding planning. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. If we haven't met, I'm Laura Fairley. I am a bridal hair and makeup artist turned Reiki practitioner and breathwork coach, and I support you and your energy on the way to I do. So let's get into today. So many of my clients say that they struggle with social media and the pressure that puts on them on the lead up to the wedding day. So I want to talk to you today about how you can manage some of that and protect your energy as you plan your wedding. So of course you got engaged, you maybe bought the wedding magazines, you maybe went to wedding fairs, you maybe brought up Pinterest straight away and started pinning lots of things and getting your vision board together, and all of that is great and it's wonderful. And I am not here to say there isn't a place for social media and for going online to find inspiration. But what I do know and what I do see regularly and time again is the pressure that social media can put on brides, grooms, couples, because it paints this perfect picture, this perfect aesthetic of one day. And then there becomes so much pressure on your wedding to look a certain way, for it to feel a certain way. And there becomes so much pressure for your wedding then to look a certain way, to match that to, and if it's not that, then it's not as good and it's not as special, and that's just not the case. I also work with brides who say that they feel so much pressure, especially as women, to look a certain way, for them to be a certain size, for them to be a certain weight, for them to have considered, even down to the aesthetic procedures and things like that, because of the narrative that is fed to them on social media. Are you prepping for your wedding day? This is the things that I'm doing, so therefore these are the things that you should be doing. And it's extremely toxic. It's extremely toxic, and it can be extremely damaging, especially for anyone that is particularly anxious, for anyone that suffers from sort of low self-esteem in the first place, and many other conditions as well out there, things like body dysmorphia. So I think it's really important to, if you are in that space and you're feeling pressure, just to take a little step back. Take a step back and just notice, first of all, without judgment. Don't be giving yourself a hard time. You're a human being, and all these feelings and thoughts that can come up from consuming this sort of content is absolutely normal. But just notice, are you impacted in this way? And if you are, here are some of the things that I'd really like you to consider doing just to help you to lessen that pressure, noise, and ultimately feeling like you're not good enough or your wedding's not worthy unless it looks a certain way. So one of the things I'd invite you to do, first thing I'd invite you to do, is to think about what you're consuming and how frequently you're consuming the content that's making you feel a little bit icky. There's no harm in unfollowing, subscribing, muting some of these accounts that maybe be triggering you, so that they don't come up in your feed. The other thing that I would encourage you to do is to just anchor back into, what did you and your partner want your wedding day to look like? What is it that you're planning? What's the big vision and goal for you? And anchor into that and think about why it is that you want it to be like that. Tune into how that day is going to feel. Tune into how that day is going to feel for you, because that's the reason why you're planning the day you are, not because it's going to necessarily then be plastered all over social media for it to be picked. I'd also invite you to curate your feed a little bit, and I always give the example of, go and follow some cute puppy accounts or cats, AI cats, but just something, just something a little bit more lighthearted, something that's not, when you're planning your wedding and you're talking about your wedding, then it's like the algorithm knows, so all it feeds you is content on weddings. Just be a little bit more mindful about curating your algorithm so that it's going to bring you and show you content that isn't just solely focused on weddings. And then my final reminder to you is just that your wedding day, you're worthy of the wedding that you want to have. It doesn't need validation from anybody else. It doesn't need to follow a trend. It doesn't need to follow a trend. Trends come and trends go, and trends change all the time. If you were trying to follow a trend, the chances are that, say you were planning your wedding for the next for 12 months time, say, by the time you get there, that trend's going to have changed and we will have moved on and there'll be something else that's trending. So don't try and plan a day that's based on other people's expectations. Give yourself grace, take a break, take a step back, quieten the noise, curate what you're consuming, and focus and go in on what you and your partner want. And I promise you, you will have the most beautiful, special day that feels good for you and that you look back on and you smile with fond memories. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know if you found this video helpful. Give me a thumbs up, give me some feedback, give me some comments, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.